Hello everybody, well I'm back. Now I have to tell you, it was hysterical last night going on to FaceTime Live. I'd never done that before. I had such fun and thank you so much all for just basically going along with me, being bonkers and actually just having fun. So thanks a million for that. Now, we're into our fish pie. So this I'm really excited about. So I think we need to get on and then we can relax a little bit later on. Now, first of all, turn your oven on. So off you go, turn your oven on, which would be really good. So I'll give you a moment to do that. Right, some of you probably got your oven on already, which I wouldn't be at all surprised. Now, I've got my fish here. Now, I have actually cut it up into chunks. Now, I'm going to give you time just quickly to I'm going to give you time to actually cut yours into chunks now. So, cut yours up, please, into chunks. Now, what I'm going to do is while you're doing that, all you need to do is, you can hear me while you're chopping, is pour your little bit of 100 mils of fish stock. Now I tell you, I made this fish stock this morning because they delivered this fish to me, which I must tell you looks absolutely gorgeous. And with a load of bones. So what else am I going to do? And I just literally bunged it in a pan. Now the trick about making a fish stock is actually you start it all from cold water, cold everything. So you bring it up slowly to the boil, and I shoved a bit of parsley stalks in because I was chopping some parsley. And the scum comes to the top, and then you just literally remove the scum and it clarifies itself. So you have the most beautiful, beautiful fish stock for absolutely nothing to do. Now, all I've done is put my fish stock into there and I'm popping on little bits of butter. Now, in the recipe, I do know it says cover it with tinfoil. But I'm not going to cover it with tinfoil. The reason being is because we want it to do really quickly. So I've turned my oven on, in fact, to 200 Celsius. For those who actually had it on 180, which I had for putting it on, I forgot to say, do begin with 200. So that'll zap it up quickly. So I'm going to pop this open into the oven. I'm going to pop a little seasoning on the top too, okay? And pop it in. There we go. Now, my oven literally has only been in for about, has only been on for about 5 minutes, so I'm not far ahead from you. Right, these little prawns. Now, I know some of you, I did say big prawns, but he bought me the little prawns, which I think is fabulous. It doesn't matter, big, little. Tonight, a glass of wine. So you'll see me drinking a glass of wine occasionally. Now, while that's cooking in the oven, we need to start our roux. So this is, or at least our bechamel. Now this is quite important to get right. So here we have all our ingredients. We've got our butter and our flour to make the roux bit itself. I've got the milk. Now, some people like to cook the fish in the milk, and I've done that too. And it's actually when you're doing a vast quantity, it's actually easier to do it in the milk. But when you're just doing it like this, I'm using the gratin dish that actually I'm baking it in. So I'm cutting down the washing up, I'm cutting down everything and trying to make it as easy as possible for you. So the first thing you do is to make your roux. So you get your butter. Now, the other thing I want to tell you guys, look, I always have here a pan of water. And in the pan of water I have my spoons. And it's just so useful just to have it sitting there. You plonk the spoons in. Most important thing about spoons, they are gold dust in chefs and kitchens. Absolute gold dust. Oh, actually.
Question.
Are
the prawns in?
No, you don't put the prawns in. You do not, good question, you do not put the prawns in until after the white fish is cooked. Because that's what I showed you. I showed you my prawns, And I'm going to leave them there and do it, but good question, because I should have said that. So thank you for picking me up on that one. Now, I'm going to start making the roux. Oh, actually, that's my other one. I'll put the roux bit in here. Here we are. We're going to put the roux on. So, butter in. Right, turn on. In fact, I'll move this, I think. Turn on. And we're going to bring it on. There we go. Now, I think what I'm going to do here, you know, you're going to, this is typical me. I'm actually going to put the roux in a bigger, make it in a bigger pan. Sorry, everybody. The reason for doing it in a large pan, don't worry, we can still use this. The reason for doing it in a large pan is because I've got quite a lot of bechamel, the amount of milk, and I just think I slurp things all over the place. I don't know if you're like me at home, but I'm a bit messy. I used to have a washer-upper, not a washer-upper, she was a baker actually, Euphemia Morrison, and she actually used to complain because if I was at the sink and I helped them to catch up with all the washing up in Scotland, what I used to do was make such a mess that they used to say, "Ah, you're a poor soul, get away." And that's what you used to say to me all the time, because I was so bad at clearing up all the time. I was really bad. Now, here we go. So the roux is the butter, the flour. We're going to pop the flour in now. Now, this is quite an important sort of technique. It's because you can't immediately add that milk. Because if you do, you need to cook that flour out. Otherwise, got that taste of flour in your mouth. So you need to just do that. So I'll show you how to do this. Now, in the between time, I'm just going to take this off for a second. But I'm also going to put on, just cook this little bit of milk a little bit in here. There we are. You see what I mean? I would have splashed all that all over the place. Right. I love my home. The reason why I use the gas, is because I've got all these pans that I adore. I mean, these are induction friendly, but I have all these amazing like copper and things like that that I really need to use. Now, please don't be afraid. So you do this, keep cooking it. Don't brown it. You don't want to have browned flour, but what you want to do is just ease it off a little bit. Now, what I would have done, I would have added things like the bay leaves, the peppercorns, the onion in advance. But I wanted to do this from a little bit. Now you're going to see it go slightly white. When it goes white all over, you know it's done. So off it goes. There we are. I can see it now happening. Can you see that? Can you see that happening? And that's the flour all working. There we are. Now, actually, I can tell that, now can you see how white it is? I can tell that's done, which is fine. Now, there we are. Look, it's sort of going all over now, more or less. Perfect. Right, our flour is cooked. We're now going to, I can't be bothered bung it all in. Right, I know you have to do it slowly, but honestly, I'm not a slow person. So, just do it. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a whisk. And I'm just going to do this. Now, you can add it slowly. By adding it slowly, which is a bit of a chefy way, what happens is it gets it smoother. But this still gets it smooth. If I don't want to, as long as you get the end result in exactly the same as what you want. Right, can somebody get me the crème fraîche, please, out of the fridge? Thank you. Right. Sorry, I forgot to put it out. I mean, quite frankly, it wouldn't be me if I didn't forget something. So, it's each week, it's what is it going to be? Now, thank you. Perfect. I thought it wasn't a thing, but it doesn't matter if it's not. Right. So we're going to go now this. There we are. Now, Guys, the most important thing here is bay leaves. Squish. Now, I told you last week, squish, squish, squish. Flavour, flavour, flavour. I've got my gorgeous thyme. Okay, can you press my thyme there? I had it on the times there. I have my thyme. Thyme's just been picked, actually, literally. Can I just have my thyme there? Here we are, just sitting by me. Here we are, it's just big leaf thyme. So we just pop it all in.
Can we do a recap?
Yep, recap's perfect. Right, what I've done is, now I've got to keep stirring while I recap, actually. So all I've done is, okay, I've melted the butter. I've added the flour. I then cooked it off so the flour got cooked, so it's not floury. I've now got to turn this down. This is really important, guys. Right, I'm now added, because it's smooth, I've now added the bay leaf, the onion, peppercorns. Right. Now, I'm going to add the peppercorns. There we go. That's fine. Right. Put that there. That's done. So, is that all right? Now, what you're going to have to do here.
Take a little bit longer. Can you just do another recap again?
Will do. Absolutely no problems. So, we've done the roux, the butter, flour, made a roux, cooked the flour off, which is incredibly important. Then we added the milk to it. I forgot the milk actually. Milk to it. Then I've added, and then got it smooth. I didn't do all the other flavours, the herbs, until it's smooth, to be honest. Then I added the onion, the cloves, and that's it. And it's just sitting here. I am now reducing it. So you've got to keep cooking it. The reason for keeping cooking it is because you want to make it really quite thick. Because what I'm going to be doing is adding all the juices of the fish to that, literally. So the flavour will get in from all the fish. Now, the beautiful thing about this fish pie, or any fish pie, that you can add anything, mussels, you can add big prawns, small prawns, you name it, scallops. Although, okay, I have to be honest about this, scallops. I'm not a huge lover of scallops in fish pie because I think it sort of doesn't do it justice. So I prefer them almost separate. So I'm going to say, no, not scallops. So now, one thing I didn't tell you, and this was not on the recipe, guys, and you're probably going to go, she's done it to us again. But I just wanted to concentrate on the pie and not do anything else tonight. But what you would have with this, you can have mashed potato, like anything, like mashed potato on top, but we're not doing that.
Sorry, question. Was the fish just in with stock?
The fish was just in with the stock.
Could we slow down because everyone's struggling.
All right. So all the fish is with the stock, 100 mils of stock, and also some little dots of butter all over the top. Now, I left the cover off. I didn't cover it because that will get it to cook quicker, which is important. And then I've got, and while that's cooking in the oven, it should take only about 15 minutes at the most, maybe 20. It depends how thick your fish is. We then made our roux, which is cooking beautifully. Now, so as I was saying, you can have mashed potato with this afterwards. You can, while it's in the oven, you can bung some potatoes on and mash them up. So I'm just going to put a little bit of brown rice on for ease for me rather than mashed potatoes, only purely for ease. Now I know I did it last week, plain rice, but I'm just going to put some brown rice on, okay? So I'll do that now. So here we go. I'm just going to put some cold water in here. I don't know if you can see me at the sink. I really don't know, but I'm putting the cold water. And this time, I don't know if you remember last week, if you were on last week, I actually told you that you needed to have a centimetre, with white rice, a centimetre and a half sort of above the actual rice itself. Now with brown rice, you need more because obviously it takes longer to cook. But I think brown rice is lovely with this and it works really well. In. So it's in there. There we are. You can see that. That should do is absorb it all, and you do nothing else to it except season it. You can put some chopped parsley through it. There we are. Now, so has everybody caught up now?
I think we're looking good.
Okay, are we looking good? Right, now we're on to the, oh yes, now I'm into here. Now we're on to our next stage. Now, obviously, just go back to the roux, just give me a little thing, because I'm hot in here. Just go back to the lights are very hot. I've actually got lights here. The actual milk. Now, you can actually, oh, I have a tea towel, there we go. I actually put some makeup on tonight, can you believe it? Now, I actually put some, you can leave this overnight to infuse those lovely flavours of the onion, the bay leaf, so you get a much better flavour altogether. It's rather like when I do my bread sauce. I always infuse it the night before, boil it up, infuse the milk with all the cloves and all the bits and pieces in, and it gives it a really good flavour. And I'm going to give you a little trick. This is just a trick. If you take some cream, you're making a creme brulee, boil the cream up and put some coffee beans into the cream and really get it coffee. It won't go brown or anything, it'll still be white, but then it's got that lovely coffee flavour. It's a bit of a trick not to make it look brown. Right now, okay, so the next section is, we're going to get onto our, oh, we've got to check our fish first actually, that's something we must do. So please now, can everybody check their fish? Ah, perfect. Now, my fish is perfect. Now, mine might be done a little more than yours because I had the oven on 5 minutes longer than yours. If it is not quite cooked, please do not worry because we're going to do the topping now, so we've got time to let it cook enough, because as long as you've got your lovely bechamel in there, and then we'll add the sort of creme fraiche and all the other bits to it, all right? So the first thing I'm going to do, because I want these juices very carefully. Oh, this is so lovely. I've got haddock, look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Now, what I'm wanting to do is really keep.
Got a question.
Yep.
Can you do fish pie with shellfish?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Shellfish is wonderful. But personally, this is my really for me, the only shellfish I really like in a pie is mussels. And prawns, obviously, you know, with just prawns. Other than that, I think things like crab, it's a bit of a waste. Things like lobster, oh no, I've done a lobster fish pie, which is delicious. But then, what that is, a special birthday occasion where you make it a lobster, you know, with a bit of white fish, and that is absolutely delicious. Just cook your lobsters and do lobsters and fish, and oh, it's to die for. And you can use your shells for the sauce, so you make a lovely stock out of the shells. It is, oh, just even thinking about it. Now, what I'm going to do is, see all those juices there? That's what I wanted. Now, I'm obviously losing some more, because what I don't want to do, once I've actually got the texture of the roux that I actually want, you don't want it to become watery. I have to, I'm going to show you earlier what I did was I added the bechamel a little bit too soon, so it's a little bit runny underneath, and because I wanted to show you this. I'm now going to put this to one side because we're using that. So you see how easy it is. So we're going to take this, and I'm going to now scrape this in. Oh, the flavour, I have to tell you, the flavour is yummy. So you've got all those wonderful juices from the fish. You've got the lovely smokiness from the smoked haddock. You've got the lovely, really, everything's buzzing. Seriously, it's just buzzing. I'm getting incredible flavours. Just, oh, that's boiling. Right.
Question, have we added creme fraiche yet?
not yet, no. We haven't added the crate. We do that at the end in a minute. Now, the rice, I've just brought it up to the boil, just so you know. It's not on the thing, but just so you know, I'm turning it down. Right, and it'll just simmer for about 20 minutes. Okay, rice, brown rice always takes a lot longer. Now, I'm going to just reduce this a little bit more. The reason why you need to reduce all this roux is because the flavours intensify.
Interesting question.
Yes?
Would tiger prawns in a fish pie go tough?
Now, that is an interesting question, because actually probably raw would be better. But actually, I put cooked prawns in my recipe because I always think, you know, again, people can, you know, get a bit worried about that sort of thing. Prawns are totally different. So the answer is sometimes, but no. If your sauce is delicious, but that was a really, really good question. They can be tough, but you see what I mean? They don't. They're not really. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. You have to be quite careful. Again, I put a lot of big king prawns in my fish pies in the past. Lots and lots and lots. And, you know, you can put them in raw and they'll cook themselves. It's not a problem. So it depends how overcooked they are, but it doesn't matter. I wouldn't look at it like that. Fish pies are a different thing. You can make an exotic fish pie, you can make that, but they'll be tougher than usual because they've been cooked for longer. But otherwise, I wouldn't worry about it. Now, I've still got loads of juice coming out. I'm going to show you. See, that's all come out of the fish. And those are the juices. So what I'm going to do now is pour the fish back into the dish. We're going to take this and pop this here behind me. Now I'm going to final one in there. Now, the texture. I want you to see this. Look at this, delicious. It's not runny, but also it's not thick, because I want it to be soft. Now, curiously, the one who asked me about the prawns, the big prawns and being tough, the fact is it's soft. You're not having a thick roux, you're having a soft roux. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this into here, because I don't want this. We haven't got time to start. Actually, I might sieve this. You know what? I'm actually being so lazy. All right, guys, get your sieves. You know what you did? You had your fish, did the sauce in there. Now I'm going to pour, to make it easier, this, just so it comes out. There we are. I'm going to put it back in here, actually. So it's not a problem. There we are. So I'm just going to do that. So if there are any lumps at all, the thing is, when you cook at home, you do get a bit lazy. In the restaurant, this would never happen. You absolutely would never not strain it. So when you're at home, it's sort of something slightly different. Dare I say? Okay. Right. People are talking. Now, okay, so take it. Oh, that's gorgeous. Now, look how smooth. Now, what I'm going to do is actually take this. I want those to put on top, those little bits of bay leaves, because I'm not wasting those bay leaves. I'm now, ooh! Oh, just don't take any notice of me, guys. Just don't take any notice of me. I make it so ridiculous. Right, I'm going to put this on there. So, I'm going to now pop this back, and I want to show you how smooth it is now. Now look at it. It's like silk. Yes, we bothered to do it. We have bothered to do it. It was good. I'm really glad we did that. Now, what I'm going to do is put in, those who asked me about the crème fraîche, it's going in now. So, crème fraîche for about 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, they're quite big, aren't they? Don't worry. Right, pop it all in. There we go. I put 2 in. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, make sure that's really well whisked in. It's really coming together. I'm just going to turn this right down. I'm just going to turn this on, actually. Right, I'm just going to turn this right down.
Are we adding the sauce to the fish now?
In a minute, yes, we are actually. We are actually. Good question. Thanks, everybody. We are. Now, I'll just tell you something. This morning, I made a decision, and I decided just to add some hard-boiled eggs to mine, just to show you if you want to bulk it out and serve more people, you can actually do that. Just add some hard-boiled eggs. It's fine. Now, so we're going to pop this in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, rather than, there you are, I'm going to pour this in here. And again, I'm getting mixed up a bit. Perfect. Oh, so good. That, I have to tell you, that really is good. Right, now. Now, I'm going to just very carefully lift it up. The juices are still coming out of the thing. There is a lot of sauce left thing. But I've got a lot of prawns, guys. Oopsie. I've got a lot of prawns, so in they go. Right, they go in to all the places, the crevices that you can find in there. So that's quite a lot, and that's why I've done it, because it's nice and saucy. Because I don't know about you, but I love that sauce. I love the fish sauce. Now, before we do anything, we don't want to risk anything else. I'm going to just put this down here. I'm going to chop some parsley up to go inside it. So, now, is everybody with me? Can I ask you, is everybody, any questions? Everybody with me?
Doing well. Maybe a little recap.
Yes, I will, totally. So I'm just going to chop now, before I recap, I'm just going to chop, bring it together. If you just bring it together. You don't need much. Right. I don't know about you, but I simply adore parsley. And I've had so many arguments with chefs. I prefer, this is French, but I actually prefer the English parsley. I don't know why. It's from my childhood, maybe. I just think it's got that slightly different flavour, but this is all right. This is fine. So I'm going to pop this on here. Now, we're just going to leave that to sit and do its thing. There we go. Oh, am I going a bit moppy? Okay, I've got to go moppy, guys. I'm mopping. Sorry. It's hot under these lights. Now, there we go. That is done, okay, for the moment. So we're going to just put this to one side here. But before we do it, I'm going to put the one I did this morning in the oven. Okay. So.
Can you just show us again?
Here, what?
The finished one.
Oh, what? Oh, this finished one. Here. Okay, somebody wants to see it again. Here you are. Right, now, that to me, now if you got lobster in that, obviously, it would be unbelievable. I hope you're following me. I'm trying to be very slow tonight. So, am I better? Is it thumbs up? Am I better tonight? Have I got thumbs up?
We're okay.
Are we all right? Good. Now, we've got to talk about the topping. Let me explain. For the topping, I want to show you all these ingredients before we go any further. Can you please see these ingredients?
Just a little slow down. Actually, just a little slow down. I think we'll let people catch up.
Yeah, okay, no probs. Just a little tiny bit. Right, so we are. So we're just going to pop this just a little clear up, I think, would be quite good too for me. Get things done. Doesn't take time. I'm being told you don't have to tell me twice about having a sip of wine. There we go. Right, have this all done. Actually, it's not a mucky dish. It really isn't. Schlange, as somebody said last night, schlange. I so enjoyed myself last night. I really did. I'm going to do it again. I think I'm going to do it again on Wednesday evening.
Can we have a little recap?
Yeah,
again?
absolutely.
With your glass of wine, maybe.
Oh, with my glass of wine. Okay, not a problem. Right, the recap is we made, first of all, the roux. So we did the butter, melted that, added the flour. We then cooked it off till the flour was cooked, basically. So it didn't have that floury taste in the roux, in the bechamel. Now, we then, oopsie, sorry, I'm going to turn everything off. We then I put the milk in. I didn't do it gradually because I was actually lazy, but never mind. We did that gradually, did that all together, whisked it in, got that done. Then we put in, once that was all well sort of homogenized, we then put in the onion, the bay leaf, the thyme, all the bits to go in to give it the flavor, and also some black peppercorns. Then we strained it, just in case we had some lumps in there, which was a good thing. And it was now, having strained it, it was like silk, which is what we're really after. So having done that, we put it back into the pan. We then added the crème fraîche, and that the person who asked about the crème fraîche, we then added then. Now we then put it over the fish. We then, having actually drained the fish first, and we actually put all the liquid from the fish into the roux. So we've got those delicious flavors in there. Then we put the fish back into the gratin dish. And then we poured in the finished bechamel, got it all in there, and then we put in the prawns. And then we folded in some parsley, chopped parsley, and that is all. Now, you can do anything you like with that, anything at all. So you can actually, what is good is you can put any fish in there, you can put whatever you like. I don't like scallops, you might like scallops in the pie, but I love lobster in a pie, but I wouldn't put crab in a pie. So basically, you can make this, but what this does, the flavors are not diluted at all, and you're keeping everything in there. Then you're getting the best of the flavor out, which is what you're after. You're after that deliciously silky gorgeousness, which is lovely, which is what we've got. Now, what we've got to do, final stage, we've done so well. My rice is cooking away too at the moment. I'm going to have a glass of wine again. So, we're going to make the actual topping. Now, the reason I like to do this is because I think it's a little bit different. Don't get me wrong, I love fish pie with mashed potato on the top. But this makes it a little bit more different. When I designed this, I thought, do you know what? This is really nice because you've got the crunchiness. You could have mashed potato with it, but some people don't want the mashed potato.
Question for you: when are we adding boiled eggs?
We're not.
Oh.
Okay. The reason why we're not adding boiled eggs, because I told you at the beginning, what I did, I made a pie which I popped in this morning with boiled eggs. But I thought, if I started putting boiled eggs in the one I'm doing with you, I thought you might complain because it wasn't in the recipe. So I thought that wasn't a fair thing to do from my part. So I didn't. But what I did do, I did actually put them in the one earlier that I made because to bulk it out. And that's what I say. If you want to use hard-boiled eggs, just put them in and bulk it out. And it just makes it go further, that's all. You don't need to put any more roux in there because there's a lot of sauce in there. But I like that sauce. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to soften. This is for the topping. And this is we're on our way down. We're on our way to the end now, which is really good. We are now going to put in this onion into some butter. We're going to soften it all up. So in we go. And my rice is going on. Yeah, I'm going to just look at the rice actually. I'll put that in first. So this is my onion. Now, those who haven't chopped their onion up, I'll give you time to chop your onion up. Because last week I showed you how to chop an onion. I left it whole, but this week I'm afraid I did chop it. So is there anybody who hasn't chopped the onion and we need to wait for you? Because honestly, it's not a problem. We're doing really well. Really well. So let me just check on this right. Oh, it's doing brilliantly. Just keep going. Right, we're just going to keep going with it. Right, we'll soften up the story. So, in this, let me explain what's going in. So we have got, for the crust, breadcrumbs, fresh breadcrumbs, which I did this morning. And we've got, or you can use dried one, it doesn't matter what you use. We've got parsley, lots of parsley.
Chef, question: if they have boiled eggs, can they add them?
Yes, of course. If they got hard-boiled eggs, not soft, hard. Yes, you can't, and soft-boiled eggs. But if you have got hard-boiled eggs, bung them in. How lovely is that? So, okay, so we got walnuts. As I said, we've got the breadcrumbs, parsley, and then we've got two different types of cheeses. I've got Parmesan cheese, and I've got delicious cheddar. Now this cheddar, can I tell you, is cave cheddar. And it's got that lovely earthy flavour. Oh, it's delicious. I love it. I just love it. It's a bit expensive, but you know, normally I use the old common cheddar because it's just as good for this, but I just happen to have this and it's so yummy. Now, we're also going to add an egg yolk. And obviously we've got some butter and the softened onions that we're adding here. Now, we're going to pop this all into a bowl, which is here. So, but before we do that, we've got to do something. We've got to take these walnuts. I've got whole walnuts here, so I know I said crushed walnuts, but I didn't, because I thought we're taking some walnuts and I'm bashing them. That's all you have to do. Bash them with a board or bash them with anything you like. A rolling pin, it doesn't matter. Put them all on. Perfect. Right, put them in.
Can we see what it's supposed to look like? How you crunch them up? Yeah.
I've crunched them up. Oh, yes. Can you see? Did you see? Okay. Right. Now, in here, I'm going to be putting breadcrumbs. Okay.
They're catching up.
Are they catching up?
Trying to.
All right. I'll soften. I'll wait a minute. I have to tell you, I have a glass of wine. Look, come on, tell me someone I'm being good tonight. I'm not going fast. I'm going really, trying to go really slowly. I'm not going fast, I promise you. Cheers. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. I can just imagine probably running around the kitchen, which is what I would do normally. Are they with me? Yes. Right, we're going to put the parsley in. We're going to put the cheeses in, both cheeses. Now, some people say, we don't like cheese with fish. But actually, for me, I like cheese with fish. I don't think it matters, as long as you don't overdo it, and as long as you don't overdo the whole thing. I don't think it matters. I think that for me, it's, look at thermidor, delicious. What could be nicer than a bit of thermidor with lovely bechamel over the top? I mean, you can do exactly this and put that on top of your lobster. Delicious. You can even use this on your thermidor as a crust. Oh, it's given me an idea, actually. That's actually given me a really good idea. Right, we're now going to take the yolk from here and put the yolk in. Oh, that just helps to keep it all together. We're now going to put in, we've softened the onions. Oh, I think, I've just turned off the rice. I've just turned the rice. Okay, there we go. I actually washed my hair today because I thought when I was on the thing, I thought my hair looked so dreadful. I'm sorry about that. Mind you, it doesn't look much better now, so never mind. You know, I don't know about you girls who are out there, but hair has been a nightmare all my life. All my life. Somebody's being very funny with their hair. I have to, I want curly hair. When I had curly hair, it looked horrendous, but I wanted curly hair. Why is it? What is it about hair? You know, one thing hairdressers will never be is out of a job.
What's in pan for topping?
What's in the pan? I've got, in the pan, I put in breadcrumbs, parsley, two different types of cheeses, Parmesan and cheddar. I put in parsley, lots of parsley actually, and walnuts. Now you can put any nuts. You don't even have to put nuts in at all. Just have a lovely crusty bready. Put more bread in. Make it more bready and cheesy. Make it a slightly different crust. Make up your own recipe. You see, I only see recipes as a guideline. I don't think my recipe is not the best recipe in the whole world, although it tastes delicious. You know why? Because I season it well. Mind you, I say that. Did I season the actual bechamel? I don't think I did. Oh, never mind. Who cares? So basically, no, but it'll taste delicious. I know it'll taste delicious. I did season the fish. I did season this. I will season this top, and also, I don't know, probably season something else. Okay, whatever. But seasoning, it's what it's all about. And when you learn as a chef, you learn about seasoning, and seasoning can actually transport something from ordinary to sensational. And this is the trick. It really is. There's two things, is seasoning and also presentation, elevating your dish up. Now, by elevating this dish, you can put it in individual dishes. Just do it with the little topping. How delicious. I mean, you can do a little topping like that and have it on there and bung it in the oven. You can put it into something like that. Put a little crust on the top. So it doesn't have to be a family type dish. You can elevate it up into slightly more restauranty. Serve it on a damask cloth. You're in for a Michelin star restaurant. Right. That's all you have to do. Now, we've got our onions in there. We're going to put them all in. Whisk it, pop it in. And this is it. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The one I did earlier, I did between two pieces of paper.
A question, do we need the cayenne pepper yet?
Yes, I'm just about to put it in now, actually. Thanks. Who was it who reminded me?
Luca.
Luca! Thanks, Luca. Bung it in. I'm putting some ghost pepper in. Good idea, Luca. You can put chili in the, which I normally do. Now, I actually think this is crummy enough to actually just crumb it on. But earlier, what I did was...
Sorry, Chef, question. Can we freeze it if we make too much?
Yes, of course. Freeze it like a dream. Now, but you can't freeze it for too long. Now, what I used to do, just to show you, I'm only going to do a little bit of this. Push it down. Go like that. Then you can invert it on the top. Do you see? But I'm not going to do that today because you don't have to. Right. I did earlier. So I'm going to do one without, one with. There we go. So yours is going to be something a little bit different, which is just as good. Take this away. There. Clean this board. I can't bear having a dirty top. I really can't. It's every chef's nightmare. Right. Okay, I'm just going to do this. Won't take a second. Thank you. Okay, perfect. There we are. Right. I'm going to pop that in too, actually. So we're going to take this off. You're probably having to do the same thing. Right, let's get your dish. The one you did earlier. So this is it. I'm actually going to check for the seasoning because make sure. Delicious, but what I'm going to do, just put a little salt on top. Right.
Sorry, question. How much cayenne pepper?
A pinch. If you use Ghost, a very small pinch. If you use Ghost, a very small pinch. If you use ordinary chili, I would say half a teaspoon. Okay, now I'm going to do this. In we go. Okay, how delicious is this? This is actually slightly easier than putting it out on paper. But you can do it both ways. Now I want to keep it crunchy like that, because I think crunchy like that will be really nice. Put it in the thing. Right, now, what I'm going to do, how long have I got? Perfect. I'm going to put this under the grill. So what I'm going to do,
Question: would you suggest any wine with this meal?
definitely a nice Sancerre would be beautiful. Sancerre, Chablis, not too sweet, just quite dry. And I think that would be absolutely perfect. A bit of Chablis, Sancerre, Poulet-Fumé, something like that. Or if you can afford it, some nice Montrachet. Wouldn't go miss. Right. So we're going to get this. I'm just going to check this on. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Right, I'm going to now put the grill on. The reason, because I want to grill this very quickly, because obviously it's still warm, a little bit. It is going to take about, so let's just put the grill on.
Question:
Yes?
If they, they don't pick, do they grill it or not grill it? Can they put it in the oven, cook it in the oven? What would you suggest? What are the options?
Right, what I would say is, if you are going to eat it tonight, just put it in the oven and leave it there for about 25 minutes
At what temperature?
at about 180. Now, if you want to keep it for later, you just keep it for when you want to have dinner. Or you can have it now and just, if it's still, because it will be quite hot underneath still, I would just put it under the grill. So it depends, you can choose what you want to do with it. Either put it in the fridge and have it tomorrow if you want. Be even better. The flavours will be better. Everything will be better about it tomorrow. So that'll be really nice. So let us just recap while I just sit down for 1 minute. So nice. They put a chair for me. It's so cool. So, so what they've done is they have literally, you've literally just made a roux. Well, first of all, you cooked your fish, got all the juices and the water out of the fish, made it with butter and fish stock, so the flavour was there. Intense, really intense. Seasoned it as well. We did season that. Then we made a lovely roux. We did that, just normal roux, flour, butter, cooked the butter, flour off. Then we added the milk. Did that, made sure it got through and it was, didn't have any lumps. But added the flavouring. We still put it through a sieve, just to make sure that all the lumps did come out. We added, obviously, all the juices from the fish. So it's made it a lot thinner, which we wanted it thinner. We don't want a thick sauce. We don't want it heavy. We want it to be light. Then we actually took it from there and we just let it be, seasoned it, put some parsley in there. As I said, the earlier one, I put some eggs in, but you don't have to put eggs in. You can put anything in. You can make it up yourself. But coming back to this, I want to tell you something. If you put things like salmon in there, what happens is the salmon is a very oily fish. When you have an oily fish in a fish pie, it's too strong. You can have some smoked haddock, which gives it the strength and the depth of flavour. But for me, I don't like salmon in my fish pie because it's too oily, it's too heavy. It doesn't give me what I'm after, the textures I'm after. And also it doesn't last as long because, it's quite an oily fish. It's, and for me, it's just better, works better with a white fish.
Quick question for you. How long would it need to be in the oven for, Rosemary? And also one other one, interesting, is if they want to have it later, should they put it in later or wait to put the topping on later, or should they put the topping on now?
Right, the longer you can leave the topping off, the better. I mean, the topping, to get it cold, a bit cold, and put it on when it's rested, the better. The longer, but as far as cooking it off, if you've left it and it gets cold, it needs about good 35 minutes to get warmed through. And that's what you need to do. Now, so I've had mine on for quite a while. It's been in for about 25 minutes. Now it should be done because it was, although I did have it in the fridge, it should be okay because it wasn't as cold. But if you want it now, you can have it later, you can put it in the fridge, but just try not to overcook it. The trick is to always remember the fish is being cooked. The longer you cook the fish, almost like the tougher, it won't be as succulent. So you need to understand your fish and what it's all about. That's the important part, okay? Super simple, but I understand. Now, Ooh, help. I can't believe it. Guys, never mind. I had the heat on so high, I burnt the This is the one. Sorry. Okay, guys, don't. This is the topping because I had it on too high. Okay, don't look. Right. Okay, the alarm. No, listen. Um. Okay, everybody. You know, never mind. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? I don't. No. Oh, yum. Oh, yum, yum, yum. No. Now, that's telling you. I had the oven on very hot, and I left it in too long. Okay. I was asked a question. What would I say if I burnt something live? Can I tell you what I'm going to say? It's really well caramelized, and that's what it's meant to look like.
Pull the fire.
Yes, pull the fire brigade. Do you know what? Now, what I'm going to do is, I'll put the other one in. It'll be ready in a minute, so you'll see it for real. I'm going to show you what it'd be like on a plate. Right, okay. Please don't leave it in your oven for so long. It'll be delicious though. Somebody was saying, how long do you leave it in the oven for? I said, it wasn't that. I put it on the grill too soon. And the problem was I was chatting to you. I'm not blaming you. Well, of course I am. I'm blaming you. It's not your fault. No. Right. Now I'm going to take it out. Oh. Now you can see I put the egg in. And also you can see the lovely, look at that. Isn't that delicious? Put a little bit of this topping on the top. Oh, now look at that topping. Now, actually I'm going to turn it upside down. Look. Right. So this is the most, please don't burn it. Please don't burn it. I'm going to have a taste. Hang on. And I'm going to have a taste of the burnt topping. Well, those were caramelized. You know what? I quite like things like this. Crispy things. Mmm. 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 Oh my gosh. That, I'm quite serious. That's a serious bit of food. It is quite frankly delicious. I don't mind that. I really don't mind it being like that. Because I think it looks, this is a new dish. Anyway, it is quite frankly delicious. It's got all those flavours. It's got the, That's so good. Now, when I have it with the rice, there's my egg.
Can you see your other dish, the other dish you did?
Yeah, hang on, I just put it on the grill. But I put it on a low heat. Hang on. Oh, there it is. Right, just, no, you can't. Can you please give me, guys, please give me 3 minutes. So all I need is 3 minutes, and then you're going to see the real deal. Look, I wanted you to see it, what it was going to be like. So I made you an extra one. But as it happens, I didn't have to, because I've done it all the way through, so it's perfect. I need a drink after that. Well, the thing about this is, I don't mind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't worry me, that sort of thing. You know, it's great. Because everything's so slick.
How's the rice?
Check it. Actually, that's a good question. I haven't even... Oh, it's perfect! Wait. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Actually, I'm going to put them together. Actually, listen, I'm going to put it together. what do I say? They are delicious. Quite frankly, they will be thoroughly enjoyed by whoever. So I really hope you enjoy your fish pie. We've actually had, yes, are there any questions? I'm being prompted. If anybody wants now, next week I've decided to do spaghetti bolognese, but we're going to make our own tagliatelle, that is. And if you don't want to make it, just buy it in and just watch me do it. But those who would like to do it with me, I'll be putting the recipe on the I don't know, FaceTime, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I'll be putting the recipe on. Okay, guys, well, listen, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you. But I think it's great to see two different finishes. You know, one's caramelized, one's not so caramelized. It's fine. It's perfect. I did it on purpose. So you take care and have a lovely evening. Enjoy yourself. And I'll see you next week. Okay, lots of love. Bye.